cannot buy. Send me a love that you cannot mix. One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy. Finding a way when you cannot see. Man with this system, he cannot pray. I need to find relief.
What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Free Game, where the only thing that we do on this channel is what?
Keep it a stack.
Bet. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, we have a wonderful guest here. I'm so excited. We have Christelle here. Christelle, talk to the people, introduce yourself, tell them. See, this is gonna be funny. Tell them whatever you want them to know. Real chill.
Okay, hey y'all, I'm Chris. Oh, I don't want to say I'm Christelle.
No, you're good. Say it.
Okay, hey y'all, it's Christelle. Full-time content creator, digital marketing lover, growing influencer.
Yes.
Super excited to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
I love that. Great. I love that. And I also love this conversation just because me and Christelle, she's way more savvy and privy than I am, but both of us are kind of like in the digital marketing space. That's what I got my degree in. That's what we're both like in the mindset, and we be bouncing ideas and stuff like that off of each other. So I'm extremely excited. I'm a big fan of hers too. And today we're really going to be talking about how Christelle went from being a full-time employee in corporate America to a full-time content creator, how she said, how that experience was, how that process was. I have a couple of questions and thoughts for her perspective, and we'll just see how it goes.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
She's looking at my notebook. She's looking at my notebook trying to get my questions because I told her I wouldn't tell her beforehand, but here we go. So, my first question for you is, how was it working in corporate America? Like, what thoughts, comments, and feelings come up about that?
It was not that bad. It really wasn't that bad. It depends on like what you value and like what you want. Like, I was talking to my boss before I quit, and I really appreciate us having that relationship where I could be very honest with her. Yeah. But she is very much like, I want to clock in 9 to 5, get my check and leave, and that can like fund my lifestyle. Wow. But I was like, I personally can't live like this. Like, I was feeling very weird, stagnant. Right. It's not bad. It's just not what I wanted to do, and I have to do things that I want to do. Yeah. So do you feel like it fulfilled you? No, not at all. Yeah. No, that's real. Do you think that it fulfilled your boss? Like when she was saying that she just wanted to clock 9 to 5? No, but we are also in different generations, and I feel like that comes up a lot. Like, I don't know, I guess she's a millennial. Yeah, I'm not sure. But they're very like, stick it through to the end with these jobs. Yeah. I'm team quit a job. Yeah. Like if you don't like it. No, and y'all are not paying me. Are you? No. Crazy? Like, crazy. Yeah. So she's very much like, no, this is not fulfilling. I hate it here. But yeah. Well, let me not say that. She's very much like, it's not really fulfilling, but I'm gonna stick it through because at least I'm getting paid. At least, you know, like that's just what they do. Like, they stay at jobs. Yeah. Me personally. No, they do. And for a long period of time at that. Yeah. No, it's kind of crazy because I feel like their first focus or priority is not necessarily happiness. Yeah. Whether it might be like stability. Yes, that exactly. She's like, it's funding. Like, I know I'm getting a check. Like, and I won't lie, content creation is not stable for your income at all. Yeah. But I'm happy. Yeah. So that's my priority. I can't live not happy. There's no point to that. Yeah. So. No, I love that. Yeah. Prioritize your happiness. Yeah. You should. I feel like it definitely is beneficial for like your mental health too. Yeah, definitely. It's been my best mental health year, like, for sure. Okay. Yeah. I love that. Great. Okay, cool. So my next question that I have for you is like, what are some of the things that you liked, disliked? Well, first let me rewind. Without saying the company or anything like that. Yeah. Please. What did you do? Like, what type of work were you doing in corporate America? Yeah. Give people some insight on like, okay, like what was Christelle doing? Okay, so I worked at an agency and I was doing account management, client services. Okay. excuse me, I was like, you know, the middle person between the client and the agency. So lots of calendars and kicking off meetings and sending decks and organizing stuff. I was also doing some project management, like in the agency, which was a lot and not in my job description, but you know,
requiring extra with no extra funds.
Yeah, just a lot. Agency culture is very interesting. I would definitely like being brand side more than agencies for sure.
Okay. What's the difference between brand side and agency?
I feel like, so the agency, like a lot of the biggest companies all have agencies that actually do the work that you see. So like agency culture is very, very fast paced, very client first, no matter what time, like, oh, they need this deck, oh, they need this deliverable. Okay. But like the brand side is just all for the brand, like, so
brand is internal.
Yes.
Agency is external. Like, what are you doing for other companies? How you're supporting other companies? Brand is making sure like the internal components are working and flourishing.
Definitely,
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay, cool. That's kind of like how my consulting firm is set up too. Like consulting, like we have client facing, where everything that you basically said, client comes first, make them happy, because that's where we get a majority of our money from. And then we have like our internal digital teams where we're creating graphics and stuff like that to like reel in more people. Okay, cool. And what did you kind of talked on some of the things that you disliked, but what were some of those components that you liked about it?
Let me think.
Please, one or two. Wow. Nothing.
No.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm thinking. I'm finding it.
No worries. I can skip it and come back if do I need to put maybe
okay, no. Something came to me. Okay.
Oof.
It was rough. I liked. It's like kind of like bittersweet. I liked working in the creative department, like, you know, designing things. I actually really liked analytics, like seeing what we did and people, like, it was email marketing. So like seeing where they clicked or where they, like, you know, what got people's attention, subject lines, like open rates. Like, I like data and numbers. So that was cool.
Like how the numbers were telling a story in a sense of like the graphics that y'all created, like how they were actually going to market. Yeah. Kind of?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Cool. I'm glad that we got a like out of there.
Yeah.
No worries. Do you have any more dislikes that you want to share?
I literally told them I felt like a secretarial intern. I have a master's in marketing.
Right.
I don't want to battle 10 people's impossible calendars to find 30 minutes to touch base. The corporate
that's literally what I do.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yikes.
I just
that's
can't. I can't.
But I agree with your perspective, though.
I can't. I couldn't, and so I left.
So you left.
Yeah.
She couldn't, left.
Yeah.
Full-time content creator. Coolio. Love that. And then that was my next question. Kind of like, so how was the shift to content creator, full-time content creator? Like, so going from corporate America to, how was that shift in process?
It was, I don't know, like, when it happened. Like, I guess in the new year, I was like, oh, I'm going to do this full time. But I quit my job in November of, where are we? 2022.
This is 2023.
Okay, yeah, so a year ago.
Yeah.
November 2022, I quit my job. And so it was immediately my birthday. So I was on vibes.
Okay.
Then it was Thanksgiving, also on vibes. So then I'm like,
okay,
all right, it's December. Let me lock in. Let me prep for the new year.
Right.
But I was still on vibes because it's like, it's December. Like right now, like,
this season is very much like,
just like nobody's trying to really lock in. We should, but like,
that's not a lot of people's mindset.
Yeah.
It's more like,
just like make it through the end of the year safely, happily. So I guess I was prepping, but In January, obviously, like a lot more people get serious about their goals, and so I was like, all right,
that is real.
I'm gonna do this full time. Like, you know, I started my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I started posting more like on TikTok, on Reels. I hate Instagram. I'm so sorry,
Really?
but least favorite platform.
Really?
Least.
Why?
It's Instagram is so.
Ew.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like the algorithm is very messed up.
Yeah.
I feel like there's this pressure to be perfect on Instagram.
I agree.
And so whenever you even try, like TikTok is more like I can just show up however, film however.
Yeah, no, that is real though.
Yeah.
That's so real.
So I don't like Instagram at all.
Yeah, Instagram has become like this content
aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Be careful too, because I feel like what people put out there on Instagram is not necessarily that it's not accurate, but like people are putting out what they want to put out. So like people don't see the other side of like everything that it might have taken, or like the authenticity, or like just everything of it. So
that's what I like about TikTok, because I feel like a lot of people are more transparent on there.
I agree.
And I feel like people are the most transparent on YouTube, but like
I agree.
Attention span, you know,
it's very short. I feel like that's why they came out with YouTube Shorts too.
Exactly. So
I agree.
Yeah. But what was the question?
The question was, how was the shift to content creation?
It was very gradual, but once I was ready to lock in, I was ready to lock in. I'm very very blessed that my parents were able, like, I'm at home, which is, you know, pros and cons, but like, you know, I didn't work until October of this year. So I've like been just creating content. Yeah. And it's been rough. Like,
why?
There's so many things people don't talk about with content. Like, I feel like there's this big misconception that content creation is so easy. Yeah. Anybody can do it. Yeah. And that's true, but it's like, it is a job. Yeah. And I feel like people fail to understand that just because, you know, I have a ring light, I have a tripod, I'm taking pictures, I get makeup, like, it's a job. It's a job. Like, you're your own manager, sending out emails to brands, pitching, like, making decks, media kit, portfolio, everything. Even just for like this, which I know you understand, like editing, filming, music, thumbnails, short form versions of your long form videos, like the long form stuff. Like, it's just all a lot. So it's a job. It's a job. And it's like I had to take time, and I don't understand, like, I started working part-time again recently. It's content. It's my job is content creation, which I love. But it's like even working part-time for somebody else, I don't have as much time to create my content. So for the 9-to-5ers, it's a lot to be working 9 to 5 and also creating content, because it's a job and people don't think it's a job. So it's like, I love the transition. It's like, pick your hard. I'm definitely going to choose content creation hard over like 9 to 5 hard. Okay. But like,
pick your hard.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Let me time mark that. Okay. Pick your hard.
Pick your hard.
Come on, beginning of the video quote. Pick your hard. No, because that's real though. Like, nothing is going to be easy, but like, what are you passionate about? What fulfills you? Because it's still going to be challenges regardless of what you do.
Yeah. So it's like, what's worth it to you? What's like going to fulfill you?
Yeah.
And for me, that's content. So it's definitely a shift. Okay. And it's hard, like, when you work in social media, like, and you want to take a social media break, it's the whole thing, which I'm sure we can get into later, but it's definitely been a shift. I love it. Yeah. But it's something I'm still adjusting to, honestly. Yeah. So
No, and I'm actually writing that to ask you soon, because I didn't even think about the portion about, like, if you want to take a social media break, or like just for your mental health, but that's your primary source of like income, like what are the decisions and like what that looks like. But you said something that I really wanted to touch on. Oh, you said in terms of like going back home, and I wanted to transition. How did you feel about your family, friends, or people in your corner supporting you during the transition from employee to content creator? Like,
Um.
I know.
Okay, so I
What
feel
did that look
like my family was very supportive at first, and now they're still supportive, but in the middle, before, you know, like I was monetized on YouTube, or before I got my first like brand deal or whatever, they were like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I remember I took a trip earlier this year, and it was like my mom's family friends, and they were like, you know, I was the youngest person there. I was literally just accompanying my mom on her girls trip, and like, so obviously generational gap. They're, you know, talking to me classic auntie talk. Oh, what's going on? And so they're like, oh, so what do you do? I was like, I'm a content creator. They're like, when are you getting a real job?
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, it's so funny. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, I still get paid. Like, people want to be content creators. People want to be influencers. That's like, although it's hard, like, ooh, that just reminded me, like, all this comparing we doing, like, some of these influencers, some of these content creators have teams doing all the things that one person is doing right now. So, like, you could be comparing yourself, like, oh my gosh, I don't have the engagement. I don't have, like, I don't have the time to do this. Oh, but they do, and they're successful because they have teams doing everything. Like, I don't know. It's just all, like, it's just hard. But my family is very kind of OD about it in the middle. And that's when I started actively, like, job searching. But I was like, I'm not settling. I don't believe in that. Like, I understand it's a balance. Like, we need money to survive. Right. But I was applying to jobs, and I was like, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to get there and just feel
unmotivated.
Like, I'm not doing that. I can't. Life is too short to be wasting away. We spend so much time at work.
A third of our day.
Like,
maybe a little bit more, to be honest.
And don't let me be commuting.
And
like,
I was just about to say that because people work from 9 to 5, but like, if I stay here and I have to be in the office, thankfully I don't. But someone has to be in the office, like in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was really my kicker.
Counting the time of getting up to look presentable for yourself or for whatever might be going to the commute to get there on time, to the commute to getting back. Yep. You're looking at 7 to 7.
Yeah. No.
7 to 7, and then you have to go home and do whatever you want to do passion-wise after that.
Yeah, and it's like you don't have the energy.
Tired.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
Yeah. So no, it's not for me. Like, some of my friends are like, oh, I can refer you, and I know it sounds crazy to be like, no, but I was like, this job is literally not gonna fulfill me if I get it. So don't even waste your time. Don't even waste HR's time. Don't even waste nobody's time because I don't want that job. Like, So.
That's real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
so
rough.
Your family, I know. So your family's in the middle now.
Okay, so now that I've, started to get paid and stuff, they're like, oh, she's a content creator, she's an influencer. But like,
okay, I see.
I don't know, my friends have been mostly supportive. I feel like I honestly, like, I don't think I have, haters in my circle. Yeah. But strangers will support you more than... different. Like, I've seen it the most on YouTube, and I know YouTube is its own world. Like, people don't have the attention span. Some people, I don't even watch YouTube for real. I really post my content and rewatch my content and go.
That's real though.
But like, all my major supporters is really people I don't know. Yeah. At least on YouTube, even on TikTok. Yeah. So,
I wonder like why that is too, because like when I was trying to get into podcasting at first, like it was consistent and consistent, but I even noticed that like, or maybe it's just me, but like your close friends or like even your friends in some situations, I won't say that like they're not supporting, because like if I was to ask them to do something, I feel like they would, but it seems as if like proactively they're not as engaged. Yeah. And I don't know if that's because like you know me, it's so weird. You feel like,
I don't know what it is.
But it's definitely something there though.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, for me, it's like it's either in you or it's not. I'm naturally a supportive person. Like, I can support people I don't know. I support people I do know. Yeah. But like, same. I don't. It doesn't cost anything to share. Yeah, like why? And it's like there is a switch up when you make it bigger. Obviously, they're like, oh, that's my friend, that's twin, that's whatever. But like, I don't know. It's very interesting because every time, well, usually when I get like recently, because I had a viral video on YouTube, for lack of a better word, and it's like random people are following me on Instagram and like posting like clips of my video or like, and I was like, my friends don't even do that. Like, it's just like random people just like supporting me or making videos like me and literally tagging me on YouTube, which I didn't even think was a thing. I was like, whoa, like, it's just crazy the impact you can have and how strangers are like more likely to hype you sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's tough and it's no lost love, but sometimes I'm like, what's not clicking, babes? Like, just like the video, share it. Like, it doesn't cost anything.
Add it to your story.
Right. Favorite it. Something. I'm not even asking you to buy anything yet.
Right.
But like.
Right, but let me build up to that.
Like, it's a little weird sometimes.
It can be, for sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I even say this, like, you know how you can see, like, TikTok who viewed your profile?
Yeah.
I had to turn it off.
I
had to turn it off for my mental health because I was like, I don't think people even realize that, like, people are not even as in tune to know, like, oh, okay, like, I can see that you viewed my profile, so like you're viewing my profile,
but you're not like engaging.
And it's people that I know.
I knew.
Like, I know you.
Yeah, it's a little bit like woo.
And that's why I had to turn it off because I was like, yeah, this is not healthy for me.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe they open the app and then it like refresh.
And how right.
Like we try to like
and try to give ourselves the benefit of the doubt, right? Because
but like, no, I've seen it. I'm like, damn, like, but
I agree.
To each his own.
Those are little things that like people don't think about with like content creating and like how it can affect your mental health, or just like how your friends, family like come into play, the correlation of it all. Because I definitely have experienced that in different ways, like, or to even subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Like there's certain milestones that you can hit by having subscribers. It's like it would literally take you 30 seconds, if that,
less, honestly,
to hit subscribe. Because I have a link tree, so everything is in my bio.
Yeah, everything.
Come on now.
It's very simple, actually, but
hey.
You know?
Alrighty. 10-4. My next question to you is, so what do you market / brand, and what platforms? Like with your content creation, like, what's your content?
Okay, so it's weird because I also have my marketing business, which I need to do better with it. So it's like a lot. I'm Christelle. I'm that girl Christelle on Instagram, TikTok,
that girl
YouTube,
Christelle.
You know.
Right.
But then my business is Creatively Christelle, which is also digital marketing.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. I feel like everybody's like lifestyle, which is all encompassing, because whatever I'm doing with my life, that's what I post.
Your content.
That's like my influencer side.
Yeah.
But as far as like my other things, I would say beauty, wellness, travel.
Okay.
I like those 3, and then business, so that I can, put Creatively Christelle in there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I like that. So like.
Yeah.
Really who you are as a person, and you market / brand Christelle.
Yeah.
But like some of your primary takeaways is like the beauty, the wellness, and the travel. Okay.
And then some business.
And then some business that you like to loop into it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
How long have you been content creating? Like, how did you get into it?
Okay, yeah. So 2020, everybody was on TikTok.
Yeah.
I was just doing trends, dancing, classic. And then...
Great dancer.
Thank you. Please. What's going on?
Yeah.
So...
I'm just gonna let that go.
Cut.
Yeah. Clip it.
Oh my gosh. I just like, I saw somebody do like a day in the life.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, let me show y'all what I'm doing today. So then I started doing that. And then pretty quickly, I don't know when, I feel like at the end of 2020, maybe like beginning of 2021, I had 1,000 followers on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
And so once you have 1,000 followers, like there's a lot of platforms you can apply for.
Okay. And
because back then I was like, I don't want to be a beauty influencer. I wouldn't say that anymore. I feel like I just naturally incorporate beauty into my content now.
Yeah.
But like, I wanted to work with beauty brands. So then I applied to like, I think at the time it was called Octoly, but now it's called Skeepers. And that's a platform where like you can apply to work with a brand. So like, I'm trying to think of a brand that I worked with on there, like The Ordinary skincare. And like, you just apply to work with them and they accept you or they deny you, then they send you the product and then you make a video. Now I don't operate like that because I don't have time to do gifted collabs. Like, I need to be paid. But yeah, that's how I started. And so once you start working with a brand and you post that content, brands are actively on these platforms looking for creators to work with. And I feel like there was a rise in like the micro influencer, because everybody loves the big influencers, whatever, but like when you're smaller, you have a real like
more intimate
reach.
reach.
And that's what they want. So I feel like I took advantage of that in 2021, like mid 2021. I like really was like, okay, I want to work with brands for real, so let me start. Like, I did my research, like, you know, what do I need to do? I started making videos with products that I had, and then I started working with brands that sent me products, and then it kind of just went from there. So then by 2022, mid 2022, I made like a portfolio, a media kit. And then I was just like, I started getting brands coming to me. Like, I had my separate, like, thatgirlchristelle@gmail.com. That's like my PR business email. And so brands will just start reaching out to you eventually. And then, this year, I don't know. It's just like gradually, like, I don't know. It just kind of happened.
It just builds upon each other. And next thing that you know, like, you'll like hopefully get that like consistent flow of like different brands reaching out based off of like how the first one went or the engagements and stuff like that. Cool. How did you feel the first time that you got your first like
like my first like
brand sponsorship?
So it's like my first gifted one was this foundation by Sephora collection. I love Sephora. All the girlies love Sephora. So you know, it was like, oh my gosh, like I'm really doing this. Like, I literally got a foundation from Sephora. Like, that was just a big deal for me. And I was like, oh, okay, like I can do this. And then my first like paid one, I was like, oh, like I can get paid for doing this. So like, it's like levels. I feel like I'm always grateful, but at the same time, it's very easy to be like, all right, what's next? What's the next level? What's the next milestone?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Instead of like, not being like
appreciative.
Yeah, I love that word, because I was gonna say content, but appreciative is a really good word.
Content is a good word though.
Yeah,
because it's very easy to be like, what's the next thing, or like
just trying to keep going.
And
I have to be careful with that too, not only like in podcasting or like branding, but just in life too, because there's so many things that like I wanted to have or I wanted to get, and when I finally got them, I was like, oh, okay. But I'm trying to learn more, like the journey and falling in love with the process to me is a lot more rewarding and satisfying than the finished result or product. Because if I'm just like finished product, then I'm like, okay.
You're never gonna be satisfied, happy.
I agree.
Very dangerous. It's
extremely dangerous. Yeah, because then you'll go 4, 5, 6 years and be like, okay, what's going on? Yeah. Cool. I love that. And did you learn any lessons from like? I'll say that. What would you tell people who are looking to take a similar path from going from corporate America, apprenticeship, welding, whatever, to full-time content creation?
I say take it slow at first. Like, use your job, whatever, to fund your content until it can pay for itself. I feel like quitting my job was impulsive and premature, but it worked out. So it's like, do with that what you will. It depends on your philosophy of life. Like, no matter what I do, I truly believe everything. Like, God literally works everything out. But was it plan C instead of plan A? Probably. So it's like, I don't know. I definitely think you should do what's best for you. If you have money and you just can afford to just quit your job willy-nilly, do it. But until you reach that space where you, like, first of all, actually try it. Because some of you are going to try content creation and realize how much work it is, how much you can put in and not get engagement and like have to keep on going until you reach the engagement and be like, actually, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So I feel like
that's so real.
Yeah, don't just jump and just like think, oh, content creation, influencing, like
so easy in my
it's
bag.
not.
Yeah.
So
I really love that part of how you said how much like you have to put in before you might even actually get the engagement, and then you're just like okay, like this is cool.
Yeah.
Like I might got something like here and there, but this is not something that I want to do
like
full time because like
people
I don't think people even understand like what full time might be like.
Yeah, because I almost feel like I went from working 9 to 5 to working 24/7. Like I'm always thinking about content.
Right.
Like I'm always like, this would be a good video.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to work on this thumbnail. I need to find music for this video.
Yeah.
Filming, editing, YouTube in itself is so much more work than I ever
anticipated. YouTube is literally so...
I don't know what they got going on.
YouTube is low-key like...
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I was like, I'm going to be a YouTuber. I was like, whoa.
YouTube is a lot.
Whoa. Like, YouTube is a lot.
It's a lot.
I really like it. But now, like, that I'm a little bit up, it's like, yeah, I like it. But, like, when I was making videos, spending hours editing to get 100 views, I was like, man, like I'm not even gonna do this anymore.
Yeah.
But then it's like, no, I actually like it a lot. And I think something that's beautiful about content creation is it documents, like, you know, whatever you're documenting. Like, I have literal videos that I can go back and rewatch, like remember, like, you know, my birthday or like my traveling experiences. Like, it's literally documenting your life and documenting like your progress. Like I look back at some of my videos like, oh my gosh, like you thought you ate, you did
That's
not.
Hilarious. No,
but like
you were still hungry.
It was not. It's like
another nibble.
Please, like I don't know. It's literally tangible, and I like that about it. But I would say, to bring it back to the advice, just give it like a try while you have somebody else paying you. Yeah. And then when you're at a place where you feel like you really like it and you feel like you can take it there and dedicate the time that it will take to monetize content creation, that's when you can go ahead and take a step back.
And do that transition. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Wise words from that girl, Christelle. Take those. Let me make a time mark. Amazing. Loving these answers. My next question is, and it kind of like extends to it, but like, how did you, and maybe you like answered this in different ways, but like, how did you finally have the courage to take the lead?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that can be hard.
Yeah.
At least coming from me, like, I have a well-paying job. The benefits are great. I travel here and there. I basically love everything about the job but the job. So it's like, for somebody like me that I don't even know if I would want to do that full-time or like in what capacity that looks like full-time, but for someone like me, it would be very daunting and nerve-wracking to go from being stable, and I know you just gave your advice to kind of like building it up as time goes on, but like just like I guess just like, do you have any thoughts on like building that courage to like switching to the unknown? Yeah.
I feel like I was at a point in my life where I was really I'm a dramatic person, so it might sound dramatic, but I felt like I was at my wit's end with my job.
No, I'm not laughing, but that is like, okay.
Calm down.
My bad.
So,
wit's end.
All right.
Wow. When I think wit's end, okay, I ain't gonna go crazy. But when I think like wit's end, in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, like you're on the floor.
That's how I felt. Like I was like, I'm not having a good time.
Like grappling, begging for grace.
I was at my wit's
please
end.
Don't kill me.
Maybe not my wit's end.
No, I mean like, if it's you, no, please. Do not let me invalidate your experience. You was at your wit's end? You at your wit's end. I'm just telling you what I think of when I hear wit's end. Alright, please. You was at your wit's end.
I was at my wit's end.
Okay. Call it what it is.
I was at my wit's end. I really was not happy. I was really not. And that is such a big value of mine, that it was such a value misalignment that I was like, I'm gonna do it. Like, sometimes you just gotta do it. You gotta just jump. You just gotta do it. If you think too hard, you're not gonna do it. Like, sometimes you really just have to take a leap, the step. Like,
yeah.
And I feel like you can always pivot. Like, everything always works out. If you know, if you're in a bad space, you can always pivot. It's like nothing is ever finalized.
Right.
So like, for me, I was like, all right, I'm gonna make the jump. If I, you know, I don't know, like if I crash and burn, fine, y'all won. I'll go get a 9 to 5. I'll just figure it out. But like,
yeah, and repivot.
Yeah, you can always pivot. So that like, just knowing like, sometimes you just gotta do it. I'm just a dramatic person though. I enjoy the dramatics. Like quitting my job.
It keeps it interesting.
You know, like
I'll be honest.
Quitting my job, like, and then the next day is my birthday. Just felt like, yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it. Like, come on, like
why not?
Right. And I'm young.
Right.
We're young. Like, this is the time. I'm not gonna be able to do this if I was like well in my whatever age. Not that if you're older you can't be a content creator, but like, you know, it's harder if you got a family to feed.
No,
like it's like
you got children and kids,
yeah,
and nephews and nieces.
Yeah, people depending on you.
That's
so,
actually real. People depending on you.
Yeah, while you're young and free, just do it for the plot. That's my energy right now.
Do it for the plot.
For sure.
I like it. Should I mark that? Do it for the plot.
Do it for the plot. You can always pivot. The story's gonna finalize itself.
No, it will. No, I love that. And I think that a lot of things in our head are, in all honesty, way bigger than we make them in reality.
Yeah, definitely.
And I tell people this all of the time, and like sometimes it's hard to swallow, but we think that we are more important to the world than we actually are. Like, we feel like when we make a decision, like the world is literally gonna like freeze, stop, and
the whole time
the ambassador is gonna come knocking on somebody's door, and then it happens, and you're like, oh,
yeah, nobody cares. And sometimes that's like, oh my god, nobody cares. But it's low-key a blessing.
But it's
nobody
also
cares.
It frees you to be like, wow, like I can.
Yeah, because everybody's worried about themselves. Like, don't even.
Everybody's worried about them.
Yeah.
No lie. And you said that you work part-time now.
Yes. So you want me to elaborate on that?
Yes.
Okay. So I work actually part-time in a corporate setting doing content creation for Paula's Choice Skincare. Okay. So like my 9 to 5, well, it's not a 9 to 5 because it's part-time, but my like corporate job, whatever.
1 to 5, okay.
It is content. I literally make TikToks. Like, that's what I do. And it's like, if I didn't quit my job and spend a year perfecting my craft, I wouldn't have been qualified to do that. So it's like things work out accordingly.
Yeah. The way they're supposed to. Yeah. I agree. Okay.
So it's fun. Like, it's like what I like to do. It's like, all right. And at first, like when I was searching for a job again, it felt like a failure to me because I was like, I literally quit my job because I wanted to be a content creator. So being in a space where I was applying for jobs again, I was like, that's not what I want to do. Like, but you know, it worked out because it's a content creation job, and I still get to learn about the content space and like actively look for trends and like, you know, make video ideas and stuff, which is stuff that I can also use from my platform. Yeah. So
yeah, Symbiotic, it still benefits you as a person too, with like things that you want to do outside of your part-time content creation. Yeah, that's honestly a good piece of advice too for those people, kind of like how you said, that might be looking to like ease into it or might not like corporate America. Like, try to find a job that is similar to the area of content creation or influencing or whatever branding that might be, that is what you want to do on a personal level to get that experience or insight. Yeah. Would you ever like quit again and go straight full-time content creation? Like, I know the goal, I just want to make sure I'm asking right. I know the goal is like to be full-time content creator, your own entrepreneur, your own boss, but like, would you ever kind of like make that impulsive decision again and be like, oh, my birthday's coming back?
Yeah, I'm a very like,
interesting.
Yeah, I would, for sure.
Any thoughts behind that, or you just would?
I just would, because it's like, especially now that I've done it one time, I could do it again and pivot again.
Yeah. Oh, so, you feel more confident in it.
Yeah.
Since you've done it.
Yeah.
That's real. You have experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Rebel.
Please.
My
No,
bad.
it was a little bit of rebellion.
Okay,
It was.
rebel.
It really was.
Alright.
Because, they were like, yeah, my family, friends, everybody wants to be a content creator. But, I mean, it's become, like, real popular now. But at least when I quit my job a year ago, it was still popular. But people were very much like, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. I was like, don't do that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to do it. Like,
Oh, you're crazy.
yeah, exactly why I'm going to do it. I had something to
Precisely.
prove. Exactly. That actually made me want to do it more. So,
Motivation.
yeah.
I love it.
It shouldn't always be, like, motivation shouldn't always come from a negative place, but I'm not going to hold you. Like, if it does, like, it's still motivating you, so just use the motivation.
Yeah.
Like,
And transfer it into a positive way.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Nice. Couple more questions. What is something, if there is something, about the journey / process? She's still looking at my notebook, y'all. What is something about the journey / process that you've been neglecting to share, but you think might be helpful to viewers? If there is something. It doesn't have to be. Or maybe like uncommon, uncomfortable, uneasy, something that's like maybe not as...
No, I'm understanding your question.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I did this a lot. Like last year, early into this year, I feel like I'm finally like better at it. But in the TikTok space specifically, just short form content in general, I feel like aesthetics matter, at least to the social media platform or to the algorithm. So for me, living at home in a like traditionally kind of decorated house, I felt like sometimes I was already at a disadvantage because I don't have, the stainless steel cabinets and like just the really aesthetic like things.
I know what you mean.
Like people love, it's the same basic neutral aesthetic, but it's so easy to go viral when you have that aesthetic because that's what sells. And I feel like I was doing a lot of things, buying a lot of things like that I didn't really have the money for because I was trying to fit into the aesthetic. But it's like I am the content, I am the aesthetic. Like my content is going to resonate with who it needs to resonate for. So me worrying about creating an aesthetic or like assimilating to one was counterproductive. And I didn't realize that until I just literally didn't have the means anymore. I was like, all right, fine. Like I can't buy the newest thing. I can't buy this thing. Like I'm gonna just use what I have and create content.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's easy to get in that comparison. Like, oh, I can't create content because I don't live in this place. Or like, I can't do this because I don't look like this.
Yeah.
Like when you just...
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Basically.
literally, like just create the content. Stop making excuses and create the content.
And
like,
do it.
Like literally, you just have to go for it. Otherwise, like, and sometimes that's what people need to see. They need to see you living at home creating content. They need to see.
Wow.
That's what they need to see.
That way, there can be more people in the space and
Yeah.
in the industry of like, okay, I can do things.
Yeah.
And it's like you'll be amazed at like what your brain can like curate to. Like I've been shifting and adjusting like even my content creation, but like my most recent video or some of my like older videos, some people were like, oh my god, like what camera do you have? And I was like,
Yeah.
I literally use
Exactly.
my phone.
Yes, that's a big thing too. Like you don't. Me, I'm a bad spender. But like, you don't need a camera. You don't need the latest,
the
whatever,
entire
like the whole setup.
shebang.
If you have a phone and some lighting,
Yeah.
and even if you don't have lighting, use your natural lighting. Like start with what you have.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah, and go from there.
Literally,
I
like,
agree.
yeah, there's a lot of excuses, a lot of things. Even we were talking about earlier, like the fear of people not supporting you.
Yeah.
The people who are going to support you are going to support you. You can't get
Regardless.
hung up on who might have something to say or who might not support you. That's such a small percentage of like what actually matters.
Yeah.
So
No, that's real. And just to extend and add into that, first of all, I think that that's great. And I think that I'm really big on like energy too. So I feel like the right energy will find you. Like if that person doesn't genuinely and naturally feel like supporting you at that time, like
that's not what you even need.
That's not what you need, and it's for a reason. And somebody could be trying to keep you away from that.
Right.
Or like it's just like energy is real. Like you can't hide your energy from certain people. Energy, actions, whatever word that wants to be used. So it's just like that's not what you need at the time. So I just feel the right energy will find you at the right time.
Yeah, it really will. It really will. And I would also say that I've mentioned this already, but content creation, like, not caring what people think is a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it, because, I mean, I feel like it was on Twitter, but it might have gone to other different social media platforms. There was a video of this guy in Target doing, like, a day in the life type of video. And I'm not gonna hold you, it was kind of OD, because you know that he had to put the tripod up, pull in the car, pull out the car, put the tripod back.
Like he was doing a lot.
Like he was doing a lot. Like you literally know, like, yes, with content creation, you're recording your life. So people are all the time like, oh, when I see content creators wake up and stretch, like it's so fake. Like, I can't believe you're doing this. People are going to have something to say. Yes, is it a little bit crazy? Like, yes. But brands are paying you bands. Right. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you would do it too. Right. If you knew the amount of money people get for putting their tripod up and pretending to wake up and showing you a little vitamin. Like,
to make a video.
Are you, like, please.
Right.
Like, so people are always gonna have something to say. People might look at you. It's like you have to have a certain level of confidence or just like this level of not caring. But it comes with time. Yeah. It's like you get desensitized.
Yeah. I agree, and I like that you said that, and I think that it's interesting because I used to be one of those people that was like, there's just no way I'm putting my camera up or doing this and the third. But I think that the difference between me and other people is a lot of people will share, like, I'm not going to call them like negative opinions, but unwarranted opinions.
Yeah,
like me personally, I would never go on Twitter and be like, oh my God, do y'all see those people who are like setting those cameras up? I just found something that I like doing and something that I could just click record, whether that's like podcasting, and feel comfortable doing me, being me, and something that works for me, but I still support people for what works for them. Kind of like how you said, like, if people are getting paid all of this money, or they're cool with setting up their tripod at their different angles, then like let that fly.
Let them. Why are you upset? Like,
you feel me?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I agree.
This is dying, by the way.
Yeah, we'll be good before it ends. 2 questions left. My second to last one is, what is something about yourself you want to share but people don't typically ask?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Like, what's something you wouldn't typically ask of me?
Me?
Yeah, because I don't know how to think about that. Like, what would they not typically ask?
I don't know, just something like, so like my answer. I would want, I know, crazy. I would want people to know, and it's honestly like kind of like how you said earlier, but I really would want people to know that I'm not mean, or like, the fact she's laughing is crazy, that I'm not mean, and I really feel like my intent, right? So I learned like intent versus impact, but my intent is to be like a very authentic and like nice person at the same time, but I do think that I'm misconstrued and misunderstood in a lot of different scenarios, like where my authenticity or my directness can be daunting, and I think it's unfortunate at times, but I'm also not about to, like, you know, make a video and post it and be like, here, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, if you know, you know, and just having confidence in myself, like you're saying, like, when the time does come around, like, the people who know me for me, like, know me. Yeah. So that's kind of like what I
don't know.
That's okay.
I feel like you, like,
What?
Huh?
You feel like we.
I feel like
Too much.
I asked you, or like I told you the misconception that I might have had, but you didn't tell me, so I don't know what people's misconception might be.
It doesn't have to be a misconception. It could be something that you just oh my God. It could just be like a part of yourself, an identity of yourself that people don't really ask about. It could be something like, Could just be a personality trait. But it doesn't have to be anything either. I think that's okay. Just a question that I had.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I mentioned, I'm introverted as much as I might appear to be extroverted. I'm an introvert. I'm a shy person. And it's hard to be shy when you are a content creator. But I don't know. I feel like it's helped me come out of my shell a little bit. So if you're trying to come out of your shell and you're like, how can I challenge myself and also like improve myself and also maybe make a bag, I feel like content creation is just perfect. So
I feel like that's the perfect pipeline to go down.
Yeah. I like challenging myself though, and it's a challenge. So
yeah. I like that. Okay, cool. I'm sure that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, and last but definitely not least question is Christelle, aka that girl Christelle. If you could leave the audience with one thing that you want them to remember from our podcast, our episode, our clip, what would that be? What comes to mind? What do you feel?
I feel like don't be afraid to put yourself out there. That's such a cliche thing to say. I feel like that's like the go-to for a lot of advice that people give, but like content creation, you're defining it. You are the content. So like make sure that you're good, obviously. That's something that I've been struggling with. It's like if I'm creating the content and I'm not okay, like the content's not going to be good. So having the balance between wanting to be consistent but also wanting to make sure that you're good in the first place. It's just something to keep in mind, but don't be afraid to put yourself out there, ask questions, talk to people, just do what you want to do in the space. Like just because you've seen it done before doesn't mean that like your spin won't be better or won't reach somebody else.
Yeah. And
just know that when, like if you're feeling like, oh, I could be good at this and I want to try it, you should, because you never know what will come from that, and you never know like the content you're creating. If you don't create the content you're supposed to create, somebody could miss what they need to see from you. So like, just create the content, get out of your head, talk to people, be authentic, and the people, places, things that are meant to find you will. So.
Period. Great.
What was that?
What, this?
Yeah.
That was kind of like the period, yeah.
Okay.
Well, Christelle, thank you for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate your time, of course. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Free Game, where the only thing that we do on this channel is what?
Keep it a stack.
We're out.
This is the peace that you cannot buy. Send me a love that you cannot mix. One is the joy that you cannot waste, and the other one price that you cannot fix. This is the peace that you cannot buy.